Welcome back, America. I have to pause from the drama that is unfolding in Israel as we speak. Joe Biden screwing up again to talk with Chairman Mike Gallagher of the Select Committee on Engagement with the Chinese Communist Party. Also, of course, Republican member from Wisconsin, very well-regarded Republican member from Wisconsin, in a conference that is beyond chaos at this point. There was a vote yesterday. Jim Jordan fell 20 votes short. He's not withdrawing his name. He's working the ropes. And I hope he gets 16 of those to flip so we can have a speaker in the United States. We've got to have a speaker. I was talking with the senior Republican official yesterday about this. We've got to have a speaker. And the inability to get this together is such a bad reflection on the Congress of the United States and politics at the time that the President of the United States is doing the same thing abroad in Israel. Chairman Gallagher, your lighting's horrible, but that's okay. Tell me a little bit about the paralysis in the GOP caucus. We can't keep doing this. We're on the brink of an international war, and we don't have a speaker. What is happening?
We are self-immolating at present. And I get that everyone has their own individual priorities. For example, I think our most urgent task right now is to rebuild our arsenal of deterrence, our munitions industrial base, the weapons, the long-range precision fires that are critical for a Taiwan scenario, for Israel, Ukraine, etc. There are members of the New York delegation that think restoring the SALT deduction is the most important thing on earth. There are hardline conservatives who think unless we pass H.R. 2, the border bill, nothing else matters. I get it. But at the end of the day, with a narrow majority, we have to come together and support the candidate that gets the majority vote in caucus. Otherwise, you're effectively accepting prolonged chaos or effectively handing control of the House to the Democrats. Neither of those scenarios is a good look for the GOP in the short term and certainly heading in to an election year. It is a full-on geopolitical crisis internationally, and the American people expect us, the party that has traditionally been the strongest on national security, to step up and to be the adults in the room. And right now, we just have too many internal divisions, and it's getting in the way of sound, strong conservative policy.
Now, when you meet up with a member like Ken Buck, who voted against Kevin McCarthy, voted against the defense appropriations bill. Ken's been on the show forever. I've known him forever since he was the attorney general. I helped him get elected to attorney general in Colorado, support him as governor. He'll never be back on this show, and he's looking for a media contract. What do you say to him? Do they have any idea at the point at which we are right now?
I don't, I haven't talked to Ken, great Princetonian, very smart guy. I don't know if there are candidates he'd be okay with. I think his primary thing is, he needs a candidate that is willing to say that Biden won the election and Trump lost. So anyone who objected to the election may not be acceptable to him. But again, there is no perfect candidate out there. In order to get to 217 and avoid Hakeem Jeffries taking over the House, this is our only line of defense. This is the only aspect of the federal government that conservatives control right now. And we're surrendering it to the other side because of these internal divisions. People have to put aside their own parochial interests for the good of the team here. And right now, it just doesn't seem like people are willing to do that. So I'm hoping we can sort out this mess today, because time's a wasting.
Is the conference meeting today?
Well, we have to meet. Right now there's theoretically a vote scheduled for 11 a.m. I think it all hinges on whether Jim Jordan was able to win over anybody last night and this morning. If he's losing ground, if people are staying firm in their no position and some people are switching from yes to no, then I suspect we'll have a conference meeting, and then it will be up to Jim to decide if he wants to fight on and try and win over the holdouts, or whether we have another round of speaker candidates and try someone else.
Chairman Gallagher, I hope that you and Michael Waltz and Dan Crenshaw and every other combat veteran in the Congress stands up and says, the men and women on those ships, and there's now a Marine Expeditionary Unit as well in the Arabian Gulf, 2 carriers on their way to the Med. They need to get paid. They need to have appropriations, and Israel needs resupply. Have we made that point to the conference?
Evidently not persuasively enough. But to your point, Hugh, I mean, this is why you need a strong Navy. We have a carrier positioned offshore that's far enough not to be in the threat range of Hezbollah or Hamas missiles. It has an air wing with a range of 500 plus miles and stand-in weapons. It's escorted by 4 Aegis-equipped escorts, each carrying at least 25 Tomahawks. So that's over 100 land attack missiles. That's a strong signal to send to the terrorists in Hamas, the terrorists in Hezbollah, the terrorist supporting regime in Iran. You know, this is why you invest in American sea power. It's something we've neglected for far too long. It gives the president options in a crisis. This is our moment. This is an opportunity to make a generational investment in our arsenal of deterrence and the United States Navy. We need to away.
Chairman Gallagher, I hope you make that speech to the conference today. I really don't care who the speaker is, but we do have to make that investment. Chairman Mike Gallagher, thank you for